guards. Here's the Bears O-line coming up. It looks much better, Brew. Grade the Bears.
This one's simple. The great offseason, obviously they start with Ben Johnson, a great head coach, or, we think is a great hire. And the offensive line, it's on your boy, Nick. Like, there's no excuse for Caleb not to roll this year. And I think he showed enough flashes, more than flash. He had some good games, some big numbers here and there, that I would expect him to shine and them to be really strong next year.
So I gave this, I was not including the Ben Johnson thing. So if I were, I would have given this a B. Because I do think they improved, but they improved in the most expensive manner possible. And they have traded away now so many draft picks in order, to get expensive veteran players.
Now, you know that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you've got to kind of try to thread the needle of trying to maximize the rookie contract window while also getting young, talented players around your young, talented quarterback. And so, it was surprising to me how much of this upcoming draft they traded away. I do like the Tooney deal, or the Tooney trade. I understand it. I think getting a good center is good. But, man, Ryan Poles has been a little willy-nilly with trading away draft picks, and that makes me a little anxious.
No. Me and Nick usually agree when it comes to the Bears. Actually, it's one of the topics that we actually kind of agree on more. But no. Considering how things unfolded, especially last season, getting players, veterans who have real experience, that know exactly what needs to be done, that you can bring in, and Ben Johnson is, they're going to be able to get to work immediately, no learning curve, no nothing, we know exactly who they are, is so important. So important right now to get this Bears team on track. We don't got time to play games with some young players that we don't really know in the draft, etc. We don't got time for that. We just don't. Not to mention, we got to figure out who Caleb Williams is. That also matters. We can't play the game where it's like, the first year wasn't really that good, but they didn't have a good O-line. And then the second year, they missed on that one draft pick and, so-and-so, he was only a rookie. We don't got time for that. They got to be able to create this team in a way where they can 100% say, we supported Caleb. Any shortcomings from the offense, if it appears to be from Caleb, then it is. We don't have to figure it out. We don't have to say, but what about the OC? Or, but they didn't have a run game. Or, he didn't have any weapons. The O-line. No, none of that. We know exactly, who he is. And you get to properly evaluate. So I totally disagree. You want to be able to hit the ground running. And you want to be able to start to build a team that people are excited to play. Because also, if you have another year now, where things are slightly wishy-washy, or even if it's just a marginal increase, it's going to be harder to get free agents. Free agents aren't going to want to sign up there, because now you'll have two, maybe one average year with Caleb, maybe one kind of good year with Caleb or something, and you're going to just be free agents aren't going to be lining up ready to go. Right now, I would say that the optimism is incredibly high. There's a ton of off-season momentum. And I think when you get also a coach like a Ben Johnson, you want to do everything you can right now to figure out as soon as possible, did we make the right decisions, right? Is Caleb, and again, I believe Caleb is, to be very clear. I believe Caleb is. But we need to get there immediately. We need to get there immediately. There's no doubt that Jaden Daniels is the guy, right? They know that. So any moves that they make are stemmed from that. There is technically still an evaluating process of Caleb Williams, right? There's people that are genuinely questioning, is Caleb? There's Chicago Bears fans that are genuinely questioning whether Caleb is the guy. So you just want to surround him with experienced veterans, guys that know you don't have to play these games with some of these young guys in the draft, etc. You get veterans. Veterans. I mean, veterans matter. I mean, Nick should know this as well, as someone who's, even working in media and stuff like that. Experience matters. It's so much easier for anyone who's ever, I'm trying to think of different various jobs that this can apply for. But I guess I'll just speak from my own personal direct experience, and albeit slightly different one. I used to do a lot of sketch and improv, and I used to do this out in LA. And I actually brought this up recently as well. I don't normally talk about it that much, but when you get on stage and when you're on stage with actually true experienced improvisers, they can essentially make anyone funny. You jump on stage with them, and they just find ways to make scenes work. No matter what you do, no matter how bad you are, you could fit into the scene, and as long as you know how to just speak English, you're good to go. You take away that veteran, you take away that experience, and put someone else who's just also not as good up there on stage, the scene goes nowhere. No one laughs, and it just collapses. Sports are very similar in that regard. Very, very similar in that regard. So to me, I don't understand the pushback on this, because I understand you want to be able to build, you want to use your draft picks, etc., etc. I get all of that, but when you're looking for the big picture, you need to both be able to simultaneously zoom in and zoom out, zoom in and zoom out. Right now is not for the big, gigantic, big picture for the Chicago Bears. You're not looking on a 5, 6, 7, 8-year trajectory. You're looking right now. Last year was already fumbled. That's the reality. That was the issue that the Bears had, running it back with Eberflus, making the picks that they made, having the type of offseason that they had, the season before, not fixing the O-line, etc. That's the problem. That's what you get, okay? You could have had Ben Johnson last year. You could have had all this, and you would have maybe have continued to make different decisions this year, but this is the situation that you're in. So I think it 100% makes sense. I absolutely love what they're doing. I don't see really any negatives right now, and the reality is that if you believe Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams to be as special as you think, because again, if you're now going to think about big picture, then if this coach quarterback are truly as special as you believe them to be, then any of these other future problems that you might think that you will come across will be able to be mitigated. Okay? They just will be. So I'm just not too concerned about that by any way. So to give them a B, I don't see how, because you want to hold on to some draft capital, or you feel like you're burning too much draft capital for some of these veterans that are more expensive than you think they should be. Like, I don't know. I don't see it. If Caleb was already 5 years into his career and we knew that he was already a great quarterback or this, then I could understand. Maybe, and then you just hired a Ben Johnson and you're looking to elevate, sure. But I think, Ben Johnson understands just as good as anyone else that first and foremost with this team right now, more than even elevating the defense, because I think it was, I forget who recently said this. I think it was Dan Orlovsky, actually, from his viewpoint, he says like that he definitely is a firm believer that the best way to support a young quarterback is through the defense, more so than anything else. And of course, you're going to have different opinions. Some people are going to say the O-line, whatever it is. But I think from Ben Johnson's view at this point, it's just like the way how this season unfolded, again, protecting Caleb and working from a place of stability outward is going to be such a better situation. And so by getting seasoned veterans, it's fixed in a second. Literally, it's just done. Like a snap of the fingers. Done. There would be so much work that would need to be done if you now start drafting youth in that. It's just, you don't got time for that. There's no equity left. It's gone. It's been burned up for years of coming up short. It's gone. Now you got it. So that's a good thing. It's actually smart. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Chicago Bears off-season moves? Are you Team Brew or Team Nick? Do you think these are great moves, or do you think they're kind of maybe doing too much too soon and kind of burning some future bridges? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.